Hello, everyone. I want to talk about something that touches near every one of your businesses, whether you're in a private practice, running your own business social media account, or running ad campaigns for your clients. I want to talk about music and social media. I promise it's not going to be a law school lecture and there will be no exam. And a quick disclaimer, it is not a legal advice. The content of the video is for educational purposes only, and any opinion is my own and does not represent the opinion of my employer. So let's dive in. Why music matters in social media. Remember when Instagram was just about a picture of your latte or a selfie? Today, it's all about short videos, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and of course, TikTok has taken over. In fact, Instagram back in 2021 announced that its algorithms would prioritize video content over images. The bottom line, every good post is better with music. Music catches attention, creates mood, and boosts engagement. Obviously, everyone wants to add music to their social media posts or ads. So let's talk seriously about music. Can you use any music in your posts? The answer is no. Music is protected by copyright law, and posting it without the right or permission is a violation. And yes, even if you only use it for 20 seconds, or even if it's just a reel. So let's break it down. Music includes two copyrights components. So first is composition, which is music notation or lyrics. And the second is sound recording, which is actually what you hear. The composer usually owns the composition right, and record label, or publisher owns the recording. So if you want to use a song in your post, you usually need a license or permission from both. License is a permission. So if you want to use a song in your post, you typically need a license or permission. Remember, when you buy a song on iTunes or Amazon, it only gives you a license or permission to listen, not to broadcast or use it in your marketing materials. So if you bought a song, please do not post it in your ads. There are several types of music licenses that I want to mention. Obviously, there are many more different types of licenses. Music law is very complicated. So the first is master user license, then synchronization license, compulsory license. And yes, it gets messy. I understand. Who wants to deal with all of this paperwork? Definitely not your receptionist. However, if you don't do that, or if you don't take care of the rights, damages for copyright infringement could be serious. The statutory damages for copyright could be up to $150. So I get it. You say, I'm busy, I don't want to deal with it. Why don't I just take the music, which is in a public domain or has no copyright attached? So I would say, great idea in theory. So be very careful. Copyright protection for compositions lasts 70 years after the composer's death. So right now it's 2025. So that means the composer must have died before 1955 for the work to be in public domain. That's a good news. If you would like to use Toccata and Fugue by Bach, Bach died in 1750. But wait, although the composition is in public domain, the recording of that piece is separate from composition. So the sound recordings are protected in the United States for 95 years from the date of publication. So if the recording was made, let's say, is in 1980, it is still under the copyright until 2075. So you will need to find the recording which was made in 1929, or it just labeled copyright free or public domain. So I know it's time consuming and a lot of information. So what should you do to avoid the copyright violation? So option number one, use the social media's licensed music libraries. Platforms know video works better, so they have built music libraries. For example, Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, they have sound collection. TikTok has commercial music library. YouTube has its own library. So these libraries include tracks which are pre-cleared for use. Sometimes they even have popular songs, but I want to warn you, be very, very careful. Number one, always use a business account because access and selection is different in personal accounts. Number two, only post the video on the platform you used the library from. So meaning if you made a video with a music that you downloaded from commercial music library from TikTok, only use the video on a TikTok. Don't repost the same exact video with the same sound on other platforms, let's say Instagram, because Meta might not have a license to that video. And I want to give you one example of the case. There was a case in California where the case was Activation Publishing versus Fontano. So I mentioned it was in California. So a sound from a TikTok commercial music library was used, but nevertheless, the plaintiff alleged the right of publicity. So the sound was not really clear. Although the case was dismissed, so we don't know the detail. There is no opinion, but the bottom line is both sides probably needed to pay legal fees and spend time in the litigation. So the option number two, use the royalty-free or license-free music libraries. There are dozens of legitimate sites that offer free or low-cost music, but please read the terms of service and check if attribution is required. And second option, make your own music. You can use composition, the music from public domain, free, which is available. I know it's not gonna work for everyone. So final thoughts. Music can be supercharged for your social media, but only if you use it legally. Otherwise, what seems to be a catchy video can turn into a costly lawsuit. Remember, if you want the music in your post, first, get it from the right source, know the rights you're getting, and make sure do not repost the same video with the music from one platform to the other platform without checking. And when in doubt, please ask a copyright lawyer.